Yo, what is up, everybody? I hope you're all having a wonderful day. It's your boy Night, and today we're back at it again to talk about set play and trap characters. A couple people requested I go over set play in the last video, so big ups to you guys. So today we are covering set play. So let's just get started. What is a set play character? What is a trap character? Are they the same? Are they different? Let's talk about it. So first off, trap characters are kind of a subgenre of set play characters. We can also kind of talk about Vortex characters here, but it's a little bit different. But the main thing we need to learn today is what is set play, right? Set play is pretty much putting something down on the screen that your opponent then has to play around in usually a dirty way. Whether it's a nasty screen setup, a trapper, or just really insane Oki, set play characters tend to put something on the screen that forces interaction out of your opponent in some way, shape, or form. Easy example that jumps to mind right away is Millia from Guilty Gear Strive. Millia's main game plan, for you guys who don't know, is she wants to knock you down and then place the big blue circle above you and force her fucking 69-way mix onto the opponent. But that little circle that she places, you know, the little whoop, the little spinny one, that is a form of set play. It is a knockdown, and then she puts you into a really bad position on your getup, and she just pretty much pushes her Oki to the limit and absolutely runs you down. If I haven't really explained Oki in a video yet, if you don't know what that means, Okizeme, Oki, for your newer players, it's pretty much just what you do to the guy when he's on the floor. So let's say you get a knockdown. If a character has good Oki, it means they can put them into a really bad position when they have to get up. Think of it like that. So again, with the Millia example, she wants to knock you down, put her big blue circle, and then boom, what do you know? You got mixed. Simple as that. That's like the basicest form of set play there is. But Millia is sometimes considered what is called a Vortex character. So these ones, kind of similar to set play, but Vortex characters pretty much just want to loop you in the same bad situation over and over. So kind of what Millia does. She gets the knockdown, she puts the blue circle, does a combo, and hopefully at the end of the combo, we'll put another blue circle and boom and boom and boom and just loop it until it dies. It being you in that example, if that wasn't clear. But yeah, anyway, Millia is normally called a Vortex character for that reason. So that is why Vortex characters are kind of in the loop when we talk about set play. See what I did there? But that is not really the entirety of set play, and that's not really the main focus of today's video either. No, we're talking about set play in a bit of a different way, that mainly being trappers or screen controllers, because I think those are two of the other most common type of set play characters, where characters like Millia tend to get thrown into the more Vortex-y category. For example of a basic set play character that's not just a rushdown loopy guy, let's take a look at Venom from Guilty Gear instead of Millia. Venom is the set play guy. He literally places balls, down onto the screen, and then he hits the balls with his pool cue, and boom, you have to now deal with this new thing that's on the screen. He sets them up, and you have to deal with them. That is set play in a nutshell. It's putting something there that forces interaction. A lot of set play characters you'll find, a lot of them are either like set play zoners, or they're set play like Vortex characters like Millia. There's usually not much in between. You'll get characters that like to keep you at a distance and keep setting up their stuff, or you'll get characters like Millia that just want the knockdown and then want to set up from there. It's two very different sides of the same coin, really. And then getting into the thing that I put in the thumbnail of this video is trappers. Trappers, kind of like Venom, but play a differently. They don't really put down things that are projectile based. They put down actual traps. So there's two examples we can go over with this. The main one is the girl in the thumbnail, Cagliostro from Granblue. Hope I got that one right. And she literally places traps on the ground, and if the opponent steps in them, boom, free combo. Simple as that. She has big traps, small traps, traps of all sizes, a teleport debate along with it. It's the full experience. She is about the most quintessential trap character as you can get. And this is set play. She is setting something up that then will eventually force an interaction, or at least force the opponent to play around it movement-wise. And now I can touch on two of my goats in these videos finally. The first one we'll take a look at is Byakuya from Under Night, and Byakuya is similar to Cagliostro, but a bit different. Byakuya is a weird kind of trapper set play character in Under Night. He does have very big normals, but he does this thing where he places like spider webs around the map, and if your opponent kind of either like forgets where they are or happens to get pushed into them, then they get webbed up and Byakuya gets a combo. It's a really weird mix, and it's really fun to play, but it is one of the weirdest, more like actual trap characters. Like a about as close to Cagliostro as it gets, because he can do some combos and then place down a trap, and then you have to watch out for the trap. And as you see, it also kind of works like how Millia does, where he can get a knockdown, and then while you're knocked down, he'll place the trap, forcing you to have a really bad time the second you get up. So you see, a lot of set play characters do revolve around a hard knockdown, but some of them can set up anywhere. It just really depends on the character. But when we're talking about set play characters, we're here to learn what set play is. It just means setting up some sort of trap or bad thing that forces your opponent into a bad situation. And Byakuya in this case does it with these little webs that really make you have to lock in if you're playing against them. And finally, I can talk about my absolute GOAT from Under Night, that being Seth. You see, Seth in a way kind of belongs in my last video about pixies. Seth is a pixie in a sense, but I didn't include him in that video for a reason. If you don't know what a pixie is, please check out the last video. But Seth is like Chip from Guilty Gear in a lot of ways. They're squishy little ninjas with low health and a lot of combo potential. But the thing with Seth is he's kind of a set play pixie, but it's so core to his game plan that he's really just a set play character that has a lot of combos. So what Seth does is every time he gets a knockdown or even just randomly in neutral, he can throw a blue orb that after a delay fires a projectile, which might sound a little weird, but this is literally the entire character. I'm not even joking. These blue orbs are annoying. They can force unblockable setups. They can just force you to block and get pressured by this plus frame ninja. They can do a lot of things, and Seth is really more a set play character than a pixie, but it is kind of a blend of the archetypes, which makes him one of the more interesting ones in my opinion, of course. So let's get a TLDR of what we learned, and then I'll show you some of the characters that you might want to pick up if you're into this type of thing. So set play. What can we do with set play? Set play generally means you're either a Vortex character or some kind of zoning guy, but not necessarily. It means putting something on the screen that forces interaction. So what examples did we give? We gave Millia. Millia wants a knockdown, puts a thing, the getup is annoying. We gave someone like Cagliostro, who traps the screen randomly and kind of forces you to play around it and push you into her traps. And then we have characters like Seth and even like Kai in Guilty Gear that just put a big projectile on the screen, and now boom, you have to deal with this, give me my pressure, or again, give me my really insane Oki. Again, obviously these are ones that I can't fully just teach you how to play or show you their game plan, because it is another class of characters that varies from character to character. Byakuya will play very differently than someone like Venom, for example, so you kind of have to pick the character and then maybe look up some of the pro players, some of the high rank players, see how they are using their traps, how they're setting up, when they're setting up, and then try to copy it and incorporate it into your game plan. Some of the set play characters that you want to look out for, I think Venom and again Millia are the main ones from Guilty Gear. Cagliostro, I think I nailed it, from Granblue if you want the quintessential trap character. Someone like Byakuya, and again even a little bit Seth from Under Night. Someone like Kokonoe from BlazBlue is also a pretty good setup character. In Street Fighter V we had Minot, but I don't think Street Fighter 6 has any real big setup characters except for maybe Dawson with the fireballs. That kind of counts as a bit of set play if you want to still look into that. Guilty Gear has a bunch of options, but if you happen to be playing Exert instead of Strive, Ram Lethal was actually kind of a set play character with floating swords back in that game until they changed her to the disgusting creature she is now. But if you happen to be playing Exert and you want a set play character, you can check out Ram Lethal. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the quintessentials of the archetype. A lot of characters have some form of set play, but I mean like Cagliostro and like stuff like Byakuya, those are like the trappers, the one that really play around having something on screen. Venom, again, another character that really forces interaction with something on screen. But again, what do we learn? Set play is when you set something up and then boom, they have to deal with it. So that should be all for me for today. I hope you guys learned something. If you have anything you want the next video to be on, please leave a comment, hit the subscribe button for your boy, and yeah, that should be about it for today. Have a good night.